Hello everybody, how are you all doing? Welcome back to Man City Unplugged, your very own Man City fan channel. We all City fans thought that this news would not come so easy. I mean, we thought we'd have some jittery moments in the midst of the World Cup. Will Pep renew the contract or not? How long the talks will elongate and all. I mean, we all knew Pep had love for the club and all of that, but maybe in the back of your mind, you sort of had that feeling. Maybe Pep could feel after a long stint, he could maybe feel that he wanted a break and then maybe go to the national team coaching and sort of those things. Those rumors were actually at the back that Pep would maybe take over a national team next. Even there were rumors of Jose Mourinho also taking up a national team in the next coaching stint after a couple of years, and there was news about Pep also down that route. So, I mean, as City fans, deep down we knew, especially after that Fulham game. I won't say that Fulham game was the convincing point for Pep, but that Fulham game was. I mean, but you could see in Pep's eyes after that Fulham game that he wanted to be here. I think that Fulham game was the point which actually told you that he will renew his contract sooner than what people think. Now, it's absolutely fantastic news for us because there was, I mean, you can never say never in football, but there is always a slight danger of, going down that sort of a Pellegrini sort of the season where we were in the midst of that season where Leicester won the league that season. We were mounting a decent title challenge, and then everything collapsed because Pellegrini was gone. Announced at half season that he was leaving and stuff. Now, if Pep announced, maybe there was a danger of that happening because however great the manager is and stuff, you sort of when a manager says that I'm not extending this sort of that instability that begins to go around the club. And Gundogan was, I think, a week or a week and a half ago. Gundogan was actually speaking about it. He was telling, "I'm not. I mean, City is a wonderful place and stuff." He told, but I'm not actually sure will I extend my contract or not because when Pep's contract is in the air, so I would wait for a little bit more clarity. So in that way, you could have a sneak peek into the mentality of some players, and Pep's contract extension was essential because Haaland came here to develop and evolve into into an into a beast of another level. So if Guardiola would leave, would Haaland have left the club sooner after 2 more years? You do not know. So Pep's contract extension is essential. Was essential. I think at more than one level. But for me, the major reason why I'm absolutely delighted, why all of us City fans should be absolutely delighted, is now Pep will have the chance to move into creating move into giving more chances to our youth players. He will have a chance of taking our academy more closer towards what La Masia was to Barcelona. Actually, he will actually have that kind of a leverage now. Now I think there'll be more freedom for him to experiment with our youth players and all of that stuff. I think the next phase of City's development is in terms of evolving the academy structure. In terms of Pep was talking about stability and all of those things after he signed the contract, but I think. But you could actually sense, reading between the lines, you could sense that what he was meaning is stability in terms of not just the first team winning trophies and stuff, but stability in terms of producing that supply chain of youngsters from the academy, and enabling the academy to a juggernaut just like a La Masia was. Could I just imagine Barcelona in this financial situation without the La Masia? The club would have shut shop, the club would have closed until now. Just imagine the players who have come from that academy who are in the current Barcelona team. So without them, I'm sure the club would have just gone. So the power of the academy cannot be understated, and Pep knows that. So for me, I expect this. He signed for 2 years, but the next decade, actually, after Pep, whoever is after Pep as well, the next decade will be making our academy a powerhouse. And these next 2 years, starting from now, okay, till 2025. So these next 2.5 years will be, I think, strong foundations of giving wings to the academy to fly. Actually, from next season onwards, I would not be surprised even from half season onwards, Pep giving more chances to youngsters because the World Cup. We don't know what toll it can have on players, but I'm convinced that this next stint of Pep for 2 years at least will be in, getting the academy up to a super level, getting the academy up and running, driving the club towards sustainability, driving the club in a position where it would not matter if it's Pep Guardiola who's in charge or an X, Y, or Z who's in charge. The way of the City style of play. Khaldun Al Mubarak was talking about the City style of play after Pep signed his contract. It is actually very essential to retain that City style of play. So really a thing that Pep Guardiola will really foster and help us in terms of getting the academy up and running and enhancing that City style of play and establishing it for decades to come. Thank you so much again for joining me, and very happy news that Pep has renewed his contract. Take care.